Vanderbilt or not, he's letting Bernie go on with this, right? This is still appropriate because a contentious interview of this sort would be like, well, Bernie, don't you think you're bringing up like the housing costs in different markets, but you've contributed to this with your 3 houses? Like, do you understand the difference between a hostile interview that is unproductive and also not arriving at any sort of discernible truth but with a cynical framing like this?
We're showing you video at the bottom
Let's
right
talk
of your
about
screen,
Bernie's campaign on Fight the Oligarchy while I go pee.
The entire thing. This was from earlier today. It's happening with the federal government shut down, about to enter day number 23 with no end in sight. Thousands of federal employees will not receive their regular paychecks on Friday. On Capitol Hill, both sides holding on to their positions. Republicans demanding a yes vote to reopen the government and say discussions on health care subsidies can then get underway. Democrats still say no. They first want a plan in place to extend those subsidies. Tonight, President Trump says a deal can happen.
We have a great support on the Republican side. So I think we need 5 Democrats, and there are a lot of them that want to make a deal. So I think at some point, common sense will prevail.
A lot to talk about tonight with Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. His new book is Fight Oligarchy. Senator Sanders, appreciate you being with us. We are going to show images on the screen of the East Wing being ripped apart from earlier today, torn down. What do you think when you see that?
Well, I think, the White House is an historic building. It goes way, way back, and, I'm not impressed by the destruction of a significant part of it, to be honest with you.
You've railed against American oligarchs. Your new book is Fight the Oligarchy. This is for a ballroom being built so the President of the United States can, entertain world leaders and it's being built, I guess, with
fellow oligarchs. Look, and what our book was about, Anderson, is a very simple one, and it's a reality that I hope the American people are prepared to deal with, because it's not easy. It's easy to call Russia an oligarchy. Putin's one of the richest guys in the world, and his friends, billionaires, run Russia. But guess what's happening in America? Today in our country, and this is what the book is about, we have more income and wealth inequality than we've ever had. You got one guy, Mr. Musk, owning more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. You got more concentration of ownership than we've ever had in the history of this country. You have billionaires controlling our corrupt political system. Billionaires putting huge amounts of money into both political parties. Mr. Musk contributing $270 million to help elect Trump as president. You have more and more billionaire control over the media, mainstream media, as I am sure you are well aware, Anderson. Mr. Ellison, who now owns Paramount and CBS, is in line to maybe buy CNN, and we'll see, one of Trump's allies now owns more and more of the media. And then in the midst of all that, you have 60% of our people living paycheck to paycheck. The billionaires get richer. Working class people are struggling to put food on the table, to pay for health care, pay for it. Oligarchy is about. It's when a handful of incredibly wealthy...
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit on the nose that the government is shut down and Donald Trump is destroying the White House. Like, I'm not big into this kind of thing, right? I'm not super libbed up like that, but it is a little hard not to look at this and be like, this is too on the nose, man. Straight up, this is just a metaphor.
People control the economy, control the media, control the politics of a country. And sad to say, that is where we are heading. And that is why we have got to fight back, and why I was so excited on Saturday to see some 7 million people come out in the streets and say, Mr. President, we don't want an authoritarian society. We don't want to live in an oligarchy. We want a democracy. We want a government that works for all of us, not just a few.
When you say fight the oligarchy, what specifically, obviously the protest is part of it, what specifically do you want to see?
Good.
Yeah, and also when you see also, what we have seen in Portland and Chicago, we saw there was some incident in New York, just I think it was yesterday or today. Do you see that as part of it? I mean, the huge increase in ICE and border
Absolutely.
patrol.
Look, it's not just that Trump is suing the media, suing law firms, going after universities, and now beginning the process of trying to put in jail his political opponents. You know, the Attorney General of the state of New York, the former head of the FBI, threatening to indict a member of the United States Senate, a colleague of mine.
Yes, the irony is not lost upon me that Bernie Sanders is talking about oligarchs in the United States of America as opposed to oligarchs in Russia to a literal son of oligarchs, of a member of the Vanderbilt family. For those of you who do not know, Anderson Cooper is a Vanderbilt. So it's ironic, but, you know, what are you going to do?
And then what you're seeing is masked men, ICE agents, running around the country, throwing people without any due process into vans, taking them to God knows where, in some cases, believe it or not, to South Sudan. When you see U.S. troops in cities like Portland or Chicago, this is what authoritarianism is about. It's more and more power going into the hands of one man. And I will tell you something that, you know, throughout the history of this country, from the extraordinarily courageous people back in the 1770s who had the guts to put their lives on the line, and by the thousands, taking on the authoritarianism of the King of England, you know, and then writing a constitution calling for separation of powers. And so many millions of American men and women fighting to defend democracy, the right of us to disagree with each other. And not throw political opponents in jail, not become a two-bit dictatorship. So that is where we are right now. And we need a political to start taking on the oligarchy, to start electing candidates who are not worried about their campaign contributions from the billionaires, but are prepared to create an economy that works for all. You ask me specifically what we do. Well, right now, our healthcare system, totally broken. Everybody understands that. We need to do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to all people as a human right. Our housing system, broken all over the country. Go to any place, go to Vermont, go to New York City, go to any place, California. People cannot afford housing. Our kids may never be able to purchase their own home in the richest country in the history of the world. Our kids may well have a lower standard of living than their parents, while Mr. Musk and his billionaire friends get richer. So what do? We build 4 or 5 million units of low-income and affordable housing.
See, I'm going to explain to you guys something. Vanderbilt or not, he's letting Bernie go on with this, right? This is still appropriate because a contentious interview of this sort would be like, well, Bernie, don't you think you're bringing up like the housing costs in different markets, but you've contributed to this with your 3 houses? Like, do you understand the difference between a hostile interview that is unproductive and also not arriving at any sort of discernible truth, but with a cynical framing like this, versus letting him just talk? That would be ridiculous. Brother, sister, the emperor. That is exactly what was happening every single interview to Bernie Sanders on CNN, literally during the entire reign of the 2016 primary campaign. That is exactly what they did. Like, are there instances worthy of criticism in terms of like what Bernie Sanders has done? Yes. Should that still be matched with the performance of Congress broadly? Absolutely. Okay. This is what I mean when I say like we always have to work within the pre-existing methods. We have to exhaust all opportunities. We have to exhaust all of the electoral machine that we have in front of us. Okay. Because they're using Bernie as a catharsis to quell the masses. No, it's not. I don't think it's like a cynical thing that these guys have like some sort of additional. I said this with the Grant Plattner stuff too. Grant Plattner has red flags galore in his background, but I don't think Grant Plattner is a 20-year project by the federal agencies because there is no left movement to destroy. There is no discontent to quell. Okay? It doesn't work that way. That it might be in the future, but like There is no reason for the CIA to do a psyop by running like a fake secret candidate when they have CIA candidates like Elisa Slotkin, Abigail Spanberger. Okay? There's no discontent to quell. Yes, there's no organized leftist labor militancy that they must forcibly squash. That's my point. Their anger and a lot of resentment, plenty of it gets channeled through right-wing reactionary sentiment. Okay? And Donald Trump does a great job with that. But there is no organized left militancy at this stage. And I'm afraid, I don't even think there really is a need to destroy leftist organizing because we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. There's mobilization, but no organization. Exactly. But we do it to ourselves. We have no serious discipline within organizational structures of the existing movements. And leftists broadly think it's just about like cynically posting. Like that's how you do it. It's just, wow, this person, I saw a clip. Other people told me this person is anti-black, and I knew it. Hasan is anti-black. There you go. Like, I'm not the movement or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But even when you have like an advocate that has a long-standing track record that is attacked almost as much by the left under the guise of simple constructive criticisms, then like who is the guy? I'm looking for it too. I don't want to be the guy. Find me the guy.
We have the best educational system in the world in the richest country, not a broken childcare system. We got workers out there making 14, 15 bucks an hour. People can't afford it. Our kids should not be 37th in the world in terms of reading and science and math. We should be the first in the world. College education should be free. Vocational schools should be free. And you know what? Maybe billionaires like Mr. Musk, who's worth $400 billion, maybe, just maybe, they should not be allowed to have that much money. We should have a tax system which says that Mr. Musk and his friends actually should pay more. Right now, they're paying less than truck drivers and nurses in terms of effective tax rates. So maybe we have a progressive tax system which says that profitable corporations, the wealthy, they should start paying their fair share of taxes.
Senator Bernie Sanders, it's always good to have you. The new book, Fight Oligarchy, is out now.